What's up, guys, gals? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys chapter 23 of Ayakashi Triangle. After that big battle and that big, well, not big arc, but small little battle thing, arcy thing going on, we now have a bit of the aftermath. A bit of the aftermath chapter. Just let's try to get back to normal. Let's see what the lasting effects are because of Hinojiki and stuff. And honestly, not really any. We start off with Suzu giving Shirogane a bath, and if you guys know anything about cats, 99% of them hate taking baths. So this is definitely a fun, interesting little, way to start the chapter off. We also see that his Suzu's younger brother there just thinks Suzu's talking to herself a lot more. And a quick note by our Professor Shirogane says that normal people cannot hear Ayakashi. Now, I thought that, well, to be fair, wouldn't hear his voice, but isn't he still, is he in Ayakashi cat form? I thought he was in a physical cat form like we saw, so this is a little bit, which is it? Is he now, because he drained all his power, can he not hold a physical cat body anymore that other people outside of, spiritually sensitive people can't perceive him anymore? Or is that a thing? Or is he just hearing meow, meow, meow or something? Because otherwise he wouldn't say is talking to herself too much. So I'm a little confused there. I guess this implies that Shirogane is not physically there anymore. He's only in his Ayakashi body physically or whatever. Anyways, so we jumped over from that and we get the idea. We're basically getting the rundown here. Matsuri is back to her girl form. And she's talking about how Shirogane is going to go live at her house for right now. The family doesn't know about it. Shirogane, the former, is going to make Suzu king. And at the same time, we have the fact that once the grandfather's explaining, once you erase an Ayakashi's existence, most people who aren't spiritually aware will not hold any memories about that. Any interaction they might have had, any memory. They might have a shadow of a doubt. It might come to them in a weird dream at times. But for the most part, 99% of all their memories of that event just go away. Because their friends, Yahayo and Lu, they don't remember Hinojiki. The professor, the gym class dude, the dude with the spiky hair and I have muscles to spare. Spiky hair, muscles to spare. That was fun. Either way, all think that Matsuri and Suzu simply cut school that day. So nobody remembers that. Even people like Lu, who believes heavily in the, occult and all that stuff and demons and spirits and stuff, believes deep down that they aren't real. And unless you have a firm belief, I would assume this would be similar to someone who holds true faith in their religion, even if they don't believe an easy one like Christianity and stuff like that. Even if they don't believe in everything the Bible or the church is saying, deep down they believe in God and Jesus Christ and stuff, then they might have potential if it was that sort of idea, right? So, but here we're seeing people that even though they say, oh yeah, surface level, but deep down in their heart and their soul, they don't actually believe in it. They wouldn't stake their life on it, sort of. When it comes to it. So very quite interesting actually, and the grandfather's the one explaining all this. It's very difficult for people who don't believe in them to remember ones that have disappeared. That's how vague of an existence an Ayakashi has in this modern world, where now that's how life is these days. In the past, natural phenomenon were thought to be, and this is similar to older mythologies and paganisms and stuff like that, and legends, was what they're explaining here. In the past, unexplained natural phenomena were thought to be caused by demons, by yokai, by Ayakashi, and so they were feared. Those notions took shape, and many powerful ones came into being. But now we have science, and slowly but surely, because, that was the way back then. They couldn't explain the weather. There was a god for that. They couldn't explain, the earthquakes. There was a god for that. They couldn't explain the sun. There was a god for that. They couldn't explain the ocean. There was a god for that. everything that wasn't able to be explained by science at one point in history or another seemed to have a god or a goddess attached to it, some form of a deity or national or demon or something as to why these things would happen. Mental illnesses even that were undiagnosed for thousands of years were thought that they had a demon in them and it needed to be exorcised out of their body, and stuff like that. It wasn't that long ago they were still doing electroshock therapy and drilling brains, so drilling holes in the skull to try to bore out, there's some pretty dark stuff. But this actually corresponds with true history, and this is what has happened in this modern age. Belief and faith in the supernatural is, depending on who you talk to, in general, is in an all-time low across human history. Even though we have so many people and so many ghost hunters and paranormal activities and all those movies and stuff, and a lot of people, I believe in ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. We're seeing now with Lou here, it's the same idea. Like, she says it on the surface, she's all about it, watching all the movies and reading all the books and going, say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror, she really does exist. But deep down, so I really like this part of the chapter. It was really, really interesting. Because it definitely corresponds with how this would be if this were true in the modern era, right? So this would be a natural effect. So either way, Matsuri asks her grandfather, do you think Suzu can take over being king? And already she's there at the shrine and boom, cheers to our new king, let's party. It's like, wait, what? And Garaku's here, got Shirogane in tow, and really quick to arrange it. And Garaku says, I wanted to avoid a situation where we were without a king for a long time. We don't need that discourse. We don't need that disorder in our realm, in our world. So it's really good for us to have, this just go as smooth as possible. We can't have the throne vacant for too long, right? So it's kind of funny because they accepted her after one night, but they even say many weak Ayakashi need leaders to resolve. This is the point of the king, and if the legendary Ayakashi medium is willing to step up, everyone will welcome her with open arms. And that many of these are probably the ones that Matsuri chased off for years. And we're seeing that right here because we have Tanumaru. And we see that Tanumaru is an Ayakashi from their childhood. And he comes steaming in saying there's no way a human can function as the king of the Ayakashi. And said, I looked up to Shirogane. He saved me from outside. Like, from what I understand, it sounds like even though Shirogane is the king of the Ayakashi, he might be king of the Kanto region. He might be king of the Okinawa region or something, wherever they are. Because it sounds like this, because once again, like with Hinojiki, he said, save me when I was attacked by an icon in the mountains, but also just the mere presence of Shirogane's Ayakashi power was reassuring. He used his knowledge to settle the troubles of Ayakashi within our territory, and he defeated dangerous Ayakashi outsiders. This implies that he has a territory. He has a set realm. Not to say that he's still not the king of all of them and can still declare himself as such, but there are probably other factors, Does this work like countries and territories, right? Or, where he is a king in his realm, but there are other kings. Maybe, maybe not, right? So we're seeing a lot of the differences here that's leading us to start to formulate a few theories here about what does the position of king actually mean and how big is this territory? Because apparently there are Ayakashi outside of the territory. Do they recognize him as king or not? There's so much factor there, but either way, they're all praising that Suzu is just a weak human, and even though she's the Ayakashi medium, Shirogane was powerful and cool and had an aura that kept most at bay without him even needing to fight. But then they start to go on. He's like, he's bossy but strong. He nags too much. He sheds a lot. And Garaku's like, they really respect you, buddy. He's like, they think they're complimenting me, but it sounds like they're bad-mouthing me. What the hell? Matsuri brings up the fact that don't worry, that's why I'm here. I'll support her. An ex-ninja's duty can also be carried out by protecting the peace of the Ayakashi so that they don't interact, so it's fine. Now, this Tanumaru blows the gasket quite literally, being a teapot, blows his gasket, steam coming out of his panda-looking ears. I actually like this is a pretty cute design for an Ayakashi. As we know, many Ayakashi or many yokai, we all like to think that a lot of yokai would be super demons, super like big animals and giants and ogres and stuff, but a lot of them are actually they possess household items. That's a really big thing. Just go on any Wikipedia page, look up yokai, and see the list of all of them. There's so many. They possess everyday items, scrolls, combs, as with Garaku, a paintbrush, right, that ends up manifesting differently with his form of Ayakashi, but this is a very common thing. So all these low-level household item Ayakashis. So it's very interesting here. But either way, very cute design. Says, Matsuri, you're the one who told me that Ayakashi and humans can't coexist. And then puts him into a very... well, I wish I could do the Master Roshi nosebleed and be like that. But no, I can't, of course, because this is a very sexy no jutsu time we're getting here, right? And we have Matsuri being in a very compromising situation with Suzu, saying about how they're going to be in the bath together and wash the body, and he realizes right away that Tanemaru created this illusion, but it's really hard poor choice of words. It's very hard for him to be in this situation. So from the outside, we see him struggling and being in pain, it looks like. And they cry like, what are you doing? But they can't really interact with Matsuri. He's just like steam. It says that's the steamy visions jutsu. And I was like, seriously? Steamy visions jutsu? It makes sense that a teapot or a tea kettle would have a steam-based jutsu, but steamy visions jutsu. How ironic. Either way, I really enjoyed this chapter so far, guys. I really, really do. Basically, the Tennomaru says that it keeps outsiders out, but it traps them in visions to those it captures, a situation that would be highly troubling. And to him, this is very difficult. But he's remembering Matsuri chasing them away, saying, "Stay away from Suzu. This is revenge for rejecting your former friends." Because remember, before they found out about Suzu and all that stuff, Matsuri was friends with the Ayakashi alongside Suzu. Then when he became a ninja, it became a whole thing. It's like, no, Ayakashi are demons. You have to stay away from Suzu. Get away from her. And he chased them all away. So some of these characters, maybe this Kappa here as well, so talk about holding a grudge. Like at this point, they're fine now, right? Like, yeah, they were kids. He thought he had a duty. It's fine. But we're seeing some of them. We're just seeing one here, but some of them going he chased us away. Like, how are you so easy on this, right? And basically said that only Ayakashi can interfere with the barrier, so Suzu continues to try to reach for Matsuri. It doesn't work. He says, we live in different worlds. I'll release him if you both promise to just leave us all alone. And Suzu brings up a good point. Whether it was true or false, it ends up being true. But regardless whether she knows that he can do this or not, she says, Matsuri's stronger now. He could probably get out of this jutsu if he wanted to. But he's enduring it because he knows that won't repair his friendship with you. And we see him, he is enduring it. He is truly enduring it, saying until Tanemaru is satisfied. Tanemaru's distrust of humans is something that he caused because they were all friends. But we see the flashback, and he thought that every Ayakashi that got near Suzu was a danger, so he chased them all away. He was immature and stupid, and now this is his responsibility. So he keeps thinking to himself, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And even Tanemaru is remembering the times when they would read, it looks like they're reading a graphic novel or a comic book together, and they're having a good time when they were kids. So it's a very nice sentimental moment, really, that automatically Matsuri didn't forget who Tanemaru was, instantly recognized him and went, yeah, okay, I deserve this, right? I gotta, it's not fair. I treated them harshly because I was wrong. I recognize I'm wrong now, and now we're into this, right? So, but the funny thing comes up where Tenemaru says, I forgot I'm still training with this jutsu and I don't know how to undo it. And I was just like, oh, wow, okay. And everyone's like, huh? And Shirogane's like, you fool! You should not have done... Why are you using a jutsu you haven't mastered yet? You fool! You damn fool! And I was like, yes, I love Shirogane. Shirogane got to be my favorite character. And then Garaku is even like, uh-oh, so as long as Matsuri endures the jutsu, it's going to continue to operate. But the problem is that jutsus are based in the Haku energy. And... Tenemaru is an Ayakashi made up of Haku and will continue to use that and end up disappearing in the end because it's just going to keep functioning until it runs out if he can't turn it off. So then Suzu just automatically seems to make the cloning Ayakashi Omokage. It's an ability of the Ayakashi medium. Humans are unable to get inside the barrier of Steamy Vision's jutsu. But by using the Omokage Ayakashi body to intervene, she's able to get through the jutsu, tell Matsuri your apology got through and it worked, and Matsuri dispels the jutsu like Suzu believed he could already. Suzu just seemed to do it instinctively. She hasn't learned it. Garaku was shocked that she was able to instantly be able to do that. So clearly her powers are developing and evolving, maybe not at a rate that they necessarily thought. So he broke through, and it's all good. Tenemaru was saved. Everybody's saved. And, of course, he's shocked to see Suzu because he's been trapped in such an awful, such a terrifying nightmare of a Steamy Vision's jutsu. Like, I don't know how I would endure it. I just don't know. It just seems like something that would be so traumatizing and so terrifying that I don't think I could speak the words aloud, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I could do it. So I feel Matsuri's pain here. I feel how hard it was for him and how it must just be a throbbing sort of experience for him. Yes, that's it. Those are the words I'm going to use. So either way, Suzu just says, let's all make up. And Tenemaru says, if my king wishes it, then I have to do so. I guess we were both deceived in the past, and Matsuri's making up with him. So it's all nice, and he's cute, and he's wagging his tail, and that's really cute. Now Garaku is saying it seems like we can expect some great things from her in various ways. Once again, we get Shirogane concerned and worried in the background about something. We don't know what, but once again, more setup. I love when they leave. We only need that one panel of Shirogane or Garaku in the background to really, or the grandfather, Matsuri's grandfather, to give us a lead up that there's more to this. There's something going on. There might be something wrong or something off. And I really like that. Suzu at the end just says, what kind of visions did you see? And he's like, I cannot say. That bad? Well, yes, Suzu, I already explained. It would have been so difficult for him. It would have been so hard. It would have been so throbbing. It would have just been one of the most difficult positions for somebody like him to be in. You know, so... Anyways, I really like the chapter, guys. No break on this, unlike One Piece. So, chapter 24 will be out next week. I really like chapter 23. I thought that this was a great afterwards chapter, sort of that like in between ending one battle against one villain and now starting up what's going to be the next storyline. We're doing the transition time, transition chapter. Otherwise, I thought it was really good. There was a lot of good moments in the chapter. But yeah, so that's the end of the review. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed. Ayakashi Triangle, Chapter 23. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been a really good chapter, really good series thus far. I really hope this series goes for, gets to that triple digits because I really am enjoying the series. I really like it. I hope you guys are too. Drink responsibly as always. And this has been Griever, and we'll see you back here next time. I promise you that. See you next time.